To add an extra layer of security for free, you can set up Cloudflare for your web app. It works as a firewall that stops bad actors from ever reaching your site. Let's walk through what you can get from Cloudflare's free tier. I've made a test site so we can compare things before and after turning on Cloudflare. Looking at our logs now, you can see a lot of file enumeration requests. That means hackers are actively trying to find sensitive information on our website. I've already added a custom domain to my site. If you need a guide on how to do that, I have another video on my channel for you. Let's head over to Cloudflare now. The initial setup is quick and simple. First, we add the custom domain we've set up. Cloudflare can also sell you a domain if you don't have one yet. You'll see 3 options for AI training bots, and we'll stick with the default setting, which is block on all pages. Here are the pricing options. I highly recommend considering the Pro plan, especially if you have any payment system on your site, but we'll choose the free one. Next, you'll see instructions on what to do. Log into your DNS provider and make sure the DNS security setting is turned off. Then you'll need to add 2 name servers to your DNS provider. These are unique to your domain, so don't copy my values. Copy the ones you get yourself because they'll probably be different. That's done. Now, if you check a name server lookup service, you might see changes. These are my DNS records now. Before, there was just 1 record for the IP, but now you see 2. You'll get an email from Cloudflare fairly quickly saying they are boosting your site's speed and security. They officially say it takes time, but in my experience, it's just a few minutes. After this setup, Cloudflare acts as a proxy between your app and the internet, and it will block malicious traffic. Next, we'll wait for 24 hours to check the changes in the logs. And the wait is over. The red line in the error graph is already lower than before, but there are still some file enumeration requests showing up. So let's go back to Cloudflare and take care of those. First, let's turn on Page Shield. This feature helps prevent malicious scripts from running in your visitors' browsers. Then, Bot Fight Mode prevents known bots from scraping your site or trying click frauds. Leaked credentials detection is also a good feature to have. It checks if someone is trying to bombard your login pages with credentials known to have been leaked. It's already activated. Next, let's go to Security Rules. We need to set up a few custom rules to stop those file enumeration attacks. We'll start by checking URI paths. The first one is the .env file. We'll create a rule that blocks the request if the URI path ends with /.env. You could also use contain here if the .env file has additional endings like local. The next rule blocks PHP files. If you aren't developing a PHP site, blocking these files doesn't matter much because hackers won't find anything. But it's still good to do if the bandwidth from file enumeration becomes too large. Then we'll block requests to the .git folder. And finally, the WordPress includes folder. Set the action to block and deploy the rule. Next, let's block some user agents. For example, this one has the word Python in the user agent, so we can guess it's likely an automated scanner. There are some cases where you can't block these, such as if you have a public API or if you've set up automated health checks using Python. I'll add another common one, which is Go HTTP client. It's also smart to ask AI what kind of user agents you should block. You can give it details about your site and what technologies it contains. We got a good list. Go HTTP, wget, curl, Perl agents, mass scan, nmap, nicto, and SQL map. Gemini also recommends rate limiting and even provides good defaults for Next.js projects, which mine happens to be. So let's check out rate limiting. Cloudflare's free plan allows only one rate limiting rule, which might already be used by leaked credentials detection. You'll have to decide which one is more important for your site. Either way, I'll show you how to create the rule. For now, I'll delete the leaked credentials rule to make room. You probably already know how you would set this one up, so I'll demonstrate how to create a rule with Cloudy. Just write a prompt, match all requests to /*, then hit enter. /* means match all pages. Gemini recommended 100 requests, since one page load already contains multiple requests to different resources, and the suggested period was 10 seconds. The action we will take is to block for 10 seconds. Hit deploy, and the rule is ready. Next, let's move on to page rules. These are rules that trigger based on a specific URL. The free tier only allows you to have 3 page rules, so let's ask Gemini which ones we should choose. Which Cloudflare page rules would you recommend for a Next.js project? I don't have an API, but I do have a login page. Give me only 3 rules. It would probably be better to give more detail about your web app, but that prompt was enough for me. For the first rule, we got bypass cache for the login page. Then the second rule is to aggressively cache static assets. This is a great rule for boosting performance. And the third one is for general site caching enhancements, which includes always use HTTPS, cache everything, and lastly, set the security level to medium. As an example, I'll add the first page rule. These are pretty simple to add, so I'm sure you'll manage the rest by yourself. We see a message saying, "This rule may not apply to your traffic." Since we have already set Cloudflare as a proxy, we can select Ignore here and then click Deploy Rule. And the page rule is ready. Now, let's see how to set up notifications for a Distributed Denial of Service, or DDoS. Cloudflare recommends this. It saves money for you, Firebase, and Cloudflare. Select DDoS Protection. It just needs a name, a description, and the email address where you want to send the notification. Let's click Test. And here's the email. Then let's move on to other free tier features. Smart Shield. This turns on a dynamic upper tier for cached assets and helps you save on costs. It includes connection reuse and smart tiered cache. Let's also take a quick look at AI crawl control, just so you know what else Cloudflare protects you from. Here are all the bots you can allow or block based on your preferences. I'll stick with the default settings. One handy feature to know about is Scrape Shield. In the free version, you get email address obfuscation. This stops bots from harvesting the email addresses on your website. An important feature on the overview page is the development mode. You need to turn this mode on when you are developing the site, as it temporarily bypasses Cloudflare and won't interfere with your development, testing, or debugging. Now, let's wait 24 hours again to get some hacker reconnaissance and then check the results. And the wait is over again. Now we can see there is truly a minimal amount of red errors. We have about 90% less. There are still a few more file enumeration requests, and you can go ahead and clear them out yourself if you think it is necessary. Just make sure that after your changes, your website works as it should. Otherwise, your rules may have blocked something that your website actually needs. If we look at the results from the Cloudflare side, we can see that the total number of requests was 211, and roughly half of them were cached, which sped up your site. From the security overview, we can see that 37 requests were mitigated. Here they all are. This PHP file was blocked by custom rules. This one got a managed challenge by bot fight mode. Here's some more data. 66 unique visitors, 2 megabytes of total data served, and 30% of that was cached. One additional thing to consider, even though Cloudflare blocks malicious requests to the custom domain, a few still hit your default address, which you can't disable. You can, however, use a small middleware component to redirect that traffic. I know this can be tricky in Firebase Studio, but if you have problems, drop a comment and we'll see what we can do. Alternatively, you can remove the default domain from the authorized domains for logging in. That keeps your login functionality safe from reconnaissance. The last thing I want to mention is that if you have a payment service integrated into your website or a lot of sensitive user data, get the Pro plan. You'll get many more web firewall security features, security rules, page rules, and better caching, which will save you bandwidth and increase loading speed. That wraps up the tutorial. If you liked it, share it with your friends. I'll see you in the next one.